Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Downshift. My name's Nestor, and today we're going to be talking all about some of the options that I wish I would have gotten from the factory on the Corvette C8. Now, of course, for those that don't know, we did sell the vehicle recently, but I had it for about 8 or 9 months, and I learned a lot about not just the car itself, but the platform that Chevy are building with the C8 generation. Of course, Z06 is going to come out, the E-Ray, and many more models. So I learned a lot about where they're kind of going with this car, and I felt like there was a few options that I really wish I would have gone on the C8. Now, I know a lot of you guys are still on the waiting list for C8s. You might be a buyer that's looking at a C8 in the future once the prices come down in terms of the used market. So hopefully my perspective here on some of the options I wish I would have gone can help you guys out and really just make your decision a little bit easier. With that said, let's go ahead and turn this around and hit up the Corvette Configurator. Okay, so here we are, Chevrolet's website for the C8 Configurator. I will put the link in the description if you guys are curious where to find this website. Now, the very first two options we have here are coupe or convertible, and of course, I think you guys know my opinion on this. The coupe is a much better value proposition, but aside from that, I actually like the aesthetics of the coupe much better. I think it's a better looking vehicle in terms of the shape, so we're gonna stick with that. Of course, we are sticking with the 1LT as well, guys. I know a lot of you might be curious as to what I think of the 1LT after driving and owning it for 8-9 months, and I really see no problem with the 1LT. The only thing that I hated about the 1LT is the fact that the mirrors didn't fold automatically, so you had to actually get out of the vehicle and push them yourselves, which is such a classic feature. I think a lot of vehicles these days have powered folding mirrors, but for whatever reason the 1LT still does not have that, and that was really the only thing that bothered me. Yes, the visibility when looking over your shoulder on the left and the right wasn't great, but honestly, that's something that I can personally deal with, and I have no issues with that whatsoever. And a lot of the other options in 2LT, I honestly wouldn't use regardless. So for me, that, $8, $9, $10,000 markup is not worth it. The orange paint color is something that I also would definitely not change. I absolutely love the way this vehicle looked, and it was actually quite easy to clean as well. Didn't show a lot of debris and dirt and stuff like that when you don't wash it for a long time, so that's also a bonus. But if you do want this color to pop and look just stunning on the road, you're gonna have to wash it a lot because you want that metallic shine to really just be visible. We also had the sky cool gray interior here, so we're gonna go ahead and keep that on. I absolutely love these seats and the way it complemented the orange. We also have the performance exhaust on my vehicle. We have the edge yellow painted brake calipers, and I think that's actually it. Actually, nope, I just thought of one more thing. We also have ourselves the orange seatbelt to go along with the paint. So we're gonna go ahead and select the orange seatbelt, and that just about does it, guys. That is the vehicle that I ordered from the factory. Now, what would I specifically change on this car? Well, the very first thing we have to talk about is the Z51 Performance Package. As you guys can see, they actually raised the price by $995, but when I ordered the 2020 version of this car, it was only $5,000. So at that price tag, you really can't complain for all the options you're getting. And again, it was $5,000 when the 2020 came out, which is just so much value for all the things that's included. So we can quickly go through everything that we have here, but you get the Michelin PS4 summer tires as opposed to the all-season tires. Not a big difference between these two sets of tires, I'll be honest with you. I've seen plenty of reviews, and the metrics and statistics are very, very minor, so the tires are almost like a non-factor. But of course, it is nice to have the sportier tires. The Brembo brakes are absolutely huge. This is one of the main reasons as to why I wish I would have gotten the Z51. We did track the vehicle, and I noticed that after doing 3-4 laps, the brakes definitely, were getting heated up a little bit and not performing as well as I thought they would. And this is where the Brembo Z51 brakes would have came in clutch and definitely helped out quite a lot. And then a few other options that I really like are the heavy duty cooling system. This actually adds a third radiator right beside one of the doors, and this of course just lets your car run cooler when you're aggressively driving it during those hot summers. So this is something I definitely could have taken advantage of. And then finally, the last two things here, the electronic limited slip differential. The one that comes with the car is not electronic, so this would have definitely helped out in terms of traction and putting the power to the right tires. And finally, the Z51 Performance Suspension. This was my biggest issue with the car. It felt a little bit floaty when you were driving it quickly into corners and just being aggressive overall. So this performance suspension really tightens things up, and even when you're shifting through the modes, the sport mode, the touring mode, and the track mode, you really notice that the steering wheel tightens up and the whole car gets a lot more rigid. And this isn't something that I'm just kind of guessing and putting out there, guys. I did drive a Z51 C8, and oh my goodness, the car was so much more stiff. And when you're driving in sport or track mode, the steering wheel is a lot more tighter and it makes you feel like you're in a much more rigid and sporty car. If I were to just get this package right here, of course, it would have been even cheaper because the performance exhaust is included in this package. So that would save me $1,200, in that option right there. So overall, a lot of awesome options in this package. And I think for the $5,000 price tag that it was for 2020, it was an absolute steal to get, and I'm definitely a little bit regretful in regards to this package right here. Definitely wish I would have gotten it. Moving along here, guys, we have the engine appearance package for $995. This is an option that I actually really like as well, and I think that I should have chosen this from the factory. Unfortunately, I didn't have the foresight to see what kind of mods I would do in the future, but we ended up getting a carbon fiber engine appearance cover, which I'll put on the screen right now. And I didn't know this, of course, when I was ordering my C8, but if I did get the engine appearance package, it would have matched the carbon fiber cover perfectly, and it would have just made the engine bay look so sick. So this is another option that I really wish I would have gotten from factory. Moving along here, guys, mag ride I probably would not have gotten in the 2020 model year, just because you had to get the Z51 package to get this right here. And then last but not least, guys, if we go ahead and scroll over to the exterior, there are a couple of things that I really wish I would have gone. Now, I mentioned how I didn't like the Z51 spoiler. I definitely should have chosen the high wing, because for some odd reason here in Canada, you could have ordered the high wing spoiler in carbon flash and it only costed 675 Canadian dollars. There must have been some kind of error, but obviously, as you guys know, it costs about $1,000 and it's been unavailable for the past year. So that spoiler right there, guys, was an absolute bargain. I went back and forth on getting it. I actually really wanted it, but my brother ended up convincing me otherwise, which definitely was unfortunate. But we also wanted to get the high wing spoiler, and then there was a package for $115 to go ahead and paint both the mirrors and the spoiler in carbon flash, and I believe it was this option right here. So as you can see, $100, and that is going to paint these mirrors black, and it also makes the spoiler black. So to round things up, once again, the three options I wish I would have gone were: first, the Z51 package of $5,000, the engine appearance package for just shy of $1,000, the high wing spoiler, and finally the high wing spoiler and mirrors painted in carbon flash finish for $100. That would have raised the vehicle's price by about $7,000 US, but overall it would have made it a much more performance track oriented car and would have looked very aggressive. And the last thing I didn't even mention, guys, is if we went for the Z51 package, we would have had the option of lowering the car by 1 inch to give it a really mean looking stance. If you don't get the Z51 Performance Package, it doesn't come with the correct springs and you have to actually replace them if you want to lower the vehicle at all. So that is it for the video though, guys. The total price would have come out to $69,070. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it kind of gave you some perspective onto our ownership of the vehicle and which options we think are high value options. If you enjoyed, definitely drop a like, subscribe for more daily Corvette content, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.